Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations. In this video, I want to show y'all how to make a very easy, beginner-friendly, adjustable, it's not really focusing, adjustable ring design that I think is a great way to make kind of a messy, organic looking ring, but that's part of the beauty of it is you don't have to make it messy. You can make it very neat and tidy, or if you're starting out, you're feeling kind of lazy and crazy, you can make it a messy burrito, just like how I have done here today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, y'all, so for this project, you're going to want to have some round nose pliers, some wire cutters, maybe some chain nose or bent nose pliers for tucking away loose ends, and a ring mandrel or something comparable like that's the size that you want your ring to be, as well as I am using 20 gauge antiqued copper. This is enameled wire from Parawire. But really, you could do this with, I'd recommend anything 20 gauge or thicker. The main thing you want to watch out for is you want to make sure that whatever bead that you are using comfortably fits onto your wire. And as far as beads go, anything that's drilled through, I personally prefer rings that are a little flatter as opposed to like a perfectly round bead, because that would just make something that's more like sticky outy, like it would protrude more, I think is the better thing to say probably. But I am using some beautiful citrine that I've been hoarding for years, and I've decided to finally use up, I suppose. And we're going to cut off about 16 or 17 inches. Parawire is so affordable, you don't really have to, go ahead and give yourself some extra. You don't have to be stingy with this. And I'm just going to snip that. I think this is a perfect project for beginners, and it's wonderful for making an adjustable ring. And at the time of recording, I've actually just finished up having one of our Craft Alongathon live streams, and this is a modification of the design that we were doing there. And so we're just going to thread our bead onto the wire there in the center, and we're gonna get a rough idea of, I'm gonna make about a size 9, and so I want this to be adjustable but not too big. So I'm going to bend around like that. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to bend around like this, kind of in the opposite direction. You could do them both the same way. That's entirely up to you. And if you want, this is going to end up being about a size maybe 8, 8.5, even though I shaped it onto the size 9, because once we're done with our wrapping, it's going to kind of loosen up. Or rather, it's going to tighten as we fill in some of these spaces with wire. So now that we can open it back up and we still have those bends in place, and I'm going to come in and wrap right there and wrap right there, just framing our bead. And I'm actually going to do a little pinch on each of these sides. And I'm going to have, since this is a little bit of a rolly bead, I'd like to tuck that wire behind it just a little, and that's going to keep it from twisting around and getting fiddly. If you want it to twist around and get fiddly, then skip that step. But I am going to wrap around once and wrap around once on both sides. And the 20 gauge is very nice for this because it's a very malleable wire. And now I'm just straightening out the wire with my fingers, and now we can come around. And this is a modification, if you've followed along with any of my other tutorials, of a herringbone weave. But I'm going to take each side and just wrap, and then twisting around, I'm using my fingernail to push that wire very close. And so now I'm going to build that wire out and around. again to zoom in. I'm just kind of bending around like that, bringing the wire around, kind of holding it in place. We could have it be more spaced out if we want something more open and airy. I'm going to place that, and I'm just twisting it around. And now from here, we could, if we feel inspired to do so, rummage. Let's go for a rummage, see if we can find some beads. I know I've got some beads in here somewhere. There we go. So here I have some little 4mm, there's steel that have been enameled to look like antique copper, because I really love that, because you don't have to worry about it tarnishing. And you can do a whole line. You could use seed beads. Like, you get very creative with this. But you can kind of just wrap that around to the side. This isn't exactly what I was going for, but that's definitely an option. So instead, I'm going to tuck that to over there. You could add some coiling onto this segment, which, if you guys are interested in seeing more advanced versions of this, which would really just be slightly more intricate versions of this, just let me know down in the comments, and I'll see what we can put together. So now from here, I want to just keep twisting this wire around. This is going to give us a much more sturdy ring band, but this also serves to make a bulkier ring band, which means it's going to take up more space. And I'm going to leave myself a little tail of wire just right there, and we're going to do that same thing on the other side. And I'm very interested in seeing how y'all evolve and refine this design as the more you practice with it and the more you grow as a wire wrapper, put your own twist on it. So if you guys follow along with this tutorial, or any of our tutorials, or just want to show what you're up to, be sure to tag me on Instagram, Backtruth Creations on Instagram, or you can email us at backtruthcreations@yahoo.com. Hey, pretty kitty. And I'm going to come in now with my round nose pliers and just finish off that little loop. I don't want any pokey ends. And I'm just making a little half loop, almost like the hook of a shepherd's pole. Sorry, the cat has me trained that whenever she rings the bell, she wants to go outside. I know, baby, I hear you. And I'm just going to squeeze that down just a little bit with my pliers. I know. I'm so close to being done, though. Give me a minute. Yeah, because she speaks English, probably. Then I'm going to come through, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of a right angle bend, because that's a very big bead. If this were a smaller bead, I'd be able to make the design more rounded. And I'm just going to bring this in, and bring these in. You can use the side of your pliers, or if you have like a hammer or something, you could use the nylon side of a jeweler's hammer and shape that down. And now we can tighten this in, even with our fingers. And you could have these little loops bypass each other as well. And there we have a very comfortable, depending on how you like to wear it, you can actually change which side the wires rest on, so you can control how it sits on your finger. So as the designer, you get to make those choices. And that's kind of pretty cool. I really like it, especially with this para-wire too. You don't have to worry about it turning your finger grain. Whoop, got snagged on my knuckle. But yeah, and you can just make it however larger or smaller as you'd like. You can also come through and bend this part just a little bit more. That way it's a little bit more curved instead of looking so straight-walled. And now that we've undersized it, like, well, rather we sized it down to the extreme. Words are hard. We can bring this around and get a little bit more shaping down. Now, it's difficult for me personally to make a small finger size ring off of such a wide bead, but I'm interested in experimenting with if we turned the bead the other way, like on a different axis, to make a longer bead as opposed to such a wide bead. But that is one of many ways that you can make an adjustable ring. I think this is a fantastic way of using some rough nuggets and making like a very organic looking ring. You can also use this as a hair wrap. If you have like a braid and you want some jewelry in that, you could put this on the neck of a bottle. All sorts of different stuff. You could get very crafty and creative with it. Hey guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I do hope that it was helpful to you. Maybe got some ideas going for designs of your own and things that, I don't know, just feeling inspired and getting your craft on. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please leave them down below. I love hearing from you guys. And if you'd like to support our channel and the creation of more free tutorials, subscribe, tickle my like button, all that good stuff. And also, if you sign up for our newsletter, we send out notifications for whenever we have new live streams, new shop updates, new tutorials, all that different stuff. That way you don't miss a thing. We do shop updates every Monday. And we also have like monthly craft-along-a-thons, and I think there was something else I was supposed to remember, but I've forgotten what it is. I don't know. All the stuff is down in the video description for that. We do have a calendar of events on our website to keep you ultra super duper up to date. So yeah, thanks guys. Oh yeah, our craft along club. We send out the biggest thing we do. So if you guys want to work with the same fused glass stones and wire as what we use, you can actually get some of our handmade glass cabochons. And the more you pledge, the more you get. So again, links down in the video description. You can check out what each tier offers and see which one's right for you. We also words are so hard, you guys. I'm trying though. We also sell the kits in a non-subscription way. That way, if you want to try one out or buy one for a friend or anything like that, we do have those on our website as well. Yeah, and I think that's everything. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. So until then, happy crafting. I know, Katie. Bye, y'all.